Welcome to No Spring Chicken with April Walterscheid. We're in all pink. It's not even the year of the Barbie movie, and I've decided to wear all pink. Dog sitting. Look at this guy. Look at him. You like being a star? His name is Dude. I call him Buddy sometimes, though. Oh, sorry. So he wants me to touch him. We're going to be doing an episode about all of my old jokes I don't tell. Maybe I've told once and I don't tell anymore. You sad about that? I think he's just passing gas. He's like a car. He's so smooth. He's got nice paint on him. What? Ow. He wants me to interview him for the podcast, to be honest. So I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I lost something I need for my little black mic that I usually use for the podcast, my little lavalier mic. I don't know where the piece is that I put into my phone. So I was trying out these things, my knockoff AirPods, to see if that would work. So I'm kind of doing sound check to see what's working during the episode. As you can see, Dude, the dog, has left. He's inside barking at nothing. Do you hear him? I'm so sorry. He's going to be barking throughout the episode probably. He has a doggy door he doesn't use. Well, welcome to No Spring Chicken with April Walterscheid. I will find my microphone for the next episode. I will get a new one, whatever I need to do. But as I said, we are going to be going over jokes I never tell for this episode. Gonna try to make it 30 to 40 minutes. We'll see where I end up. So I brought out my phone. There's old jokes on here. I brought a notebook where some of them, I don't know if they made it into the notebook. These are probably from 2017. I'm just gonna read some of the notes. I mean, a lot of it got put into the notebook. It's being a stand-up is weird because for me, at least for me, I slowly stopped doing jokes. Like I'll have a set that I do for a year or two, maybe a few months, usually about a year, and then I slowly transition jokes out of that set and transition new ones, or I transition to a whole new set. And then I look back and I do retire jokes that are written fine and well, and like they're great. So I will retire certain jokes, but then eventually I get scared because I forget what they are. A lot of these are just joke titles. Like one says tostada, one says comedy wire, one says as you wish, and then in parentheses it says punch. One says baseball, one says whipped bleach. I know what that one was. But a lot of these I don't remember what they are. So I'm just going to read random ones. I did not prepare. The only thing I prepare for this podcast episode is that they're jokes I haven't told in a while. I'm going to read some. I don't know what to expect. They will shock me as much as they shock you, or they'll be boring, or somewhere in between. Let's start with some from here, all right? Getting fired from As You Wish, which is like Color Me Mine. It's a pottery painting place. Just for asking a customer's name on her pieces. That happened. I got fired because of that. I asked for the initials. You have to put initials on your pieces. Like if your name is Justin Klein, you just put JK on all of your pieces so that when we put it in the kiln, we know who you are and know your pieces. So getting fired from As You Wish just for asking for a customer's name on her pieces. I also lied about my name, so there's that. I also punched her in the face, so there's that too. I guess that's why I was fired from As You Wish. Okay. I didn't really punch her, but when you're new in comedy, which in this notebook I kind of was, you go for violence or death. You go pretty dark, pretty fast when you're not sure how to do the punchline for a joke. Here's another one. I worked at a health food store called GNC when I was 19. Actually, I was 18. I don't know if this is going to be significant to the joke. It was great. My manager smoked outside the store to attract more customers. That's a good joke. God, I forgot her name, but my manager at GNC did smoke outside our store just because she was a smoker. But I think it brought a lot of people in, or it brought a lot of people away from the store. Probably looked unhealthy. Here's another one. Parents, my mom, said I was a F up, like F-U-C-K, when I lost my first job at GNC. So when my mom lost her job at Intel 10 years ago, I called her an F up as well. Okay. That one's got some legs, I think. I could probably change the ending. At the time, I probably thought that was funny. Maybe it's funny to you. It's always funny to get back at your parents with when they scold you and like turn it around on them. That's always fun. This Where a Dog Sit has a rainbow cup. It's pretty cool. Love it. Let's pause for a moment. I want to point out what I'm wearing. I'm wearing all pink. Don't know why. I just woke up and chose Barbie today. I got a pink scrunchie. It's kind of dirty, actually. I got my Coraline bracelet that I made. Do you see it says Coraline? I got my midnight bracelet. My friend Jose, who's a big Taylor Swift fan, gave me that one because a little girl made him some and sold him some bracelets. I got a bracelet made by my niece in Arizona. She gave it to me for Christmas. I'm wearing my Alice in Wonderland necklace. This is McQueen. And yeah, I just want to go over my outfit. I just felt like wearing Converse. I don't have pink Converse, but I'm wearing these. Wearing this. And this. Okay, let's get back to some jokes that in the comments, let me know if any of these are good. Like, which one would you keep and like rewrite? I'm totally open to it. If you want to rewrite some of these jokes, go back to the joke, rewind to the joke you liked, and see if you can help me rewrite it, and maybe I can use it. But if you think it's perfect too, let me know. Be like, hey, you should bring that back, and I might do it. This one, so I have this category in this. I try to put categories in my notebook. One says work. So some say dating, probably, I assume. Some probably say childhood. I actually wrote all over in this notebook. There's some stuff in the back here. Ooh, that set did not go well. I was remembering a set from 2017 at Lady Killers in Phoenix. It was at a coffee shop called Sip. I don't know what street it's on, but so throughout this notebook, I did put like holidays. Like I did space out the notebook subject-wise. So we have to what I think I'd have stuff about. Like I have one called politics. Maybe I should read that section. Holidays, pop culture. I did space out the notebook so that I knew these, so that I could take this stuff and like write it in here. And it looks like I just didn't get to these ones. Or I did, I don't know. Yeah, so that's how I was kind of planning out my notebook. I just put everything on my phone now. Or like a Google Docs, but this is the old way I did it. I tried to do it, I attempted. Let's read that politics section. Let's go to that section. And by the way, I'm doing all this podcast. I mentioned it all over season 1, but the reason for this podcast is that I usually posted my stories on my Instagram, and my manager, Tony, said, hey, stop posting in your stories random stuff, random thoughts. Make a whole podcast of random stuff that you want to talk about. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm also going over this season for No Spring Chicken. We are outside. It's summer. We're outside for 9 episodes. This is episode 3. And also, I have for season 2, each episode has, I'm thinking of something to talk about. Like next week, I'm going to be in Arizona. I'm going to be in downtown Mesa, where I'm from. I'm going to do a podcast at one of my favorite coffee shops outside. Yeah, each episode I have mapped out a subject matter that I'm going to be going over, some sort of theme I'm going to be going over in that episode. And all because my roommates are insane and I don't want to talk about them. I'm tired of talking about their personality disorders. Tired of talking about the havoc that they're causing. They're causing me to sleep in my car at night, to feel safe, just stuff like that. But I have some news, by the way, of my roommates, which I talked about in season 1. I talked about my roommates in season 1. And I have some news, guys. If you've been following me on this podcast since season 1, my roommates are getting removed. So I don't know when, I don't know what's gonna happen, but they got notice this week that they're being removed, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Anything can happen, I don't know, but that is giving me hope right now that life can be a little more normal again, if that's even possible. And I like having a stable life, so yeah. I don't like being dragged into, my 2 roommates are like basically feuding against each other, and just being around that is very stressful. I'm not even part of it, but I live there, and yeah, anyways. So let's go to the politics section. Speaking of divisiveness and feuding, let's go to the politics section of this notebook. There's only 2 things that I wrote. And I hope you are enjoying maybe the insight of my progression. This is like kind of like 2 years into comedy. I had this notebook. And then eventually we're going to get into like 5 years into comedy. And then we're going to get into like 8 years into comedy. You're going to see like a progression. Hopefully the jokes get better. Or you'll sense like, oh, she got better at writing. What was that? There's like a little, okay. That was just a bookmark. There was a politics section. I need to make like a table of contents. Pop culture, where is the politics? Veganism, that's what I am. Apparently veganism, I can't just say that that's my, like, Hollywood loves multi-hyphenates. They like actor, writer, comedian, producer. But a multi-hyphenate is not a vegan. I thought it was. I thought like, oh, I'm a comedian and a vegan. And Maria Bamford's manager, Bruce, told me that that's not a multi-hyphenate. And I'm like, oh, okay. Whoops. Well, I can't find the politics section. I'm so sorry, guys. Where is it? Here's a random one. This might be controversial. It's got, I don't know if I should say it. I'm going to try to hide this. This is ED language, and I don't want to get it taken down on YouTube, but this section is just called How Do You Know If? It says, how do you know if someone isn't eating? You know the disorder where you don't eat at all? You know what that's called? How do you know if someone is that? Their email says, don't feed me at imnotoverweight.com. Okay, that's pretty bad. So do you think I should use that again? Is that a good one to include in my set? That's April. That's when I was new to comedy, stand-up. So just, you go through, when you're starting out in stand-up comedy, you do go through some bad ones. You go through some really, and that was a different time. Now we're just more healthy as a society with our mental health, I think. So, and what we're being careful about saying, I know. But back then, 2015, 2017, not so much. Okay, this one's called Family and Friends. Family and Friends section. This is also, what am I writing about? Hold on. No, I'm not going to read that one. They're pretty dark. These are pretty dark. This one was about a miscarriage, and I'm not gonna read it. Okay. Okay, maybe this one's okay. Sorry, the dog I'm dog sitting still barking. My brother recently had a baby. I mean, he didn't have it. His girlfriend did. It's my first time being an aunt. Yay. I was so mean to my brother when we were young. Like, I would wrestle him to the ground. I would dress him up as a girl. It says on here, it says, give examples. So I would dress him up as a girl, curl his hair, put him in my dress, say he's from Canada because his hair was more blonde than ours. I am naturally an ash brown hair color, so are my parents. He was the only blonde kid. Although I had blonde hair as a kid, so. So I would just tell him he's from Canada, he doesn't look like us. So, to keep my bullying tradition alive, he's never gonna be an uncle. Nothing is getting into here. And I'm 40, and I wrote this at 30, around 32 maybe. So far so good. I'm doing great. Yeah, okay. So that's the family and friends section. Ooh, I have a murder joke section. Nothing's in there, but I know 3 murderers in Arizona, so that was a section to come. It's on my phone. That section got moved to my phone, and there's a lot of stuff there. I may not read it on this podcast because it is going to be part of a comedy special at some point. This section is called Holidays. Ooh, I even have an update to this joke on in my phone. Okay. I get staplers as gifts every year from my parents. I hate it. One year I got 2 staplers. This just says, but one year I needed a stapler. And then there's nothing else. So I think this one is not finished. But I would add to this, if I were to like punch this up, it'd be I get staplers as gifts from my parents every year. I freaking hate it. But then one year I stopped getting staplers from my parents as gifts. And that's the year I actually needed one. And they did not come through for me. They're the worst parents ever. Something like that. Like, you know, I got staplers as a gift. Like if I were to punch this up, I got staplers as gifts like every year when I was young up until I was 18. Then at age 30, I had thrown all my staplers away because they just broke down and didn't work anymore. And when I turned 30, I didn't get a stapler, and that's the year I needed one. I actually needed one. Okay, this is pop culture. Okay, this one's about, so it must have been in like around 2017. This is about a famous boxer. I must have read something in the news and I decided to make a joke about it. A famous boxer who has a wife thanked his mistress after winning his boxing match. It made me think, how else does he show gratitude toward everything else in his life? I want to thank my sponsor, Gatorade and Powerade, my Catholic priest and rabbi. I don't know. Since living in LA, I don't think you could be Catholic and Jewish. I guess because like your parents are, but this is kind of contradicting. But I guess it's possible because my cousin, Michaela, is Jewish and Christian because her parents. Okay. Maybe it's possible. Okay. My favorite silly president, George W. Bush and Jimmy Carter, Palmolive and Dawn, Mr. Clean and the Scrubbing Bubbles, Queen's Pizzeria and Little Caesars. Queen's Pizzeria is in Mesa. Pet Shop Boys and Beach Boys, Pep Boys and Checker Auto Parts, Halloween and Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't understand this joke. So, is this joke finished? I don't think it's finished. I think I know what I was trying to say here. I think a famous boxer who has a wife thanked his mistress. I should rewrite this to say a famous boxer who has a wife thanked his wife and his mistress after winning his match. It made me think of how else he shows gratitude toward everything else in his life. So he shows gratitude toward competing products. Okay. Whoa. Get with it, April, in 2017. Where were you going with that? I must have just thought it was funny. it is weird, like, to write something and you look back on it. Even stuff on Facebook, like, you read your old Facebook posts, you may have thought it was good at the time, and then you go back to it and you think, like, I think on my own post, like, hey, wait. Like, even I'm like, what did I mean by that? Where was I going with that? Does that happen to you too? This is a lonely podcast. I just need to talk to you guys as if you're here. Just say something. I can't hear you, but say anything. You can be like, yeah, April, I'm so embarrassed by my old Facebook posts. Me too. Especially the ones where I was high or on an edible. I'll think it's like so funny, like all the funniest thoughts, type it. A lot of them are funny, even when I read them while not high, but some of them, no. Okay, I found the politics section. What did I write here? I think I did one of these live on my YouTube in 2016. I remember this one. Politics. ISIS has a magazine publication. They have 401k and daycare. So they have benefits if you work for ISIS. I'm thinking about moving there if Trump gets elected. Oh boy, I wrote this in 2016 for sure. The first time he got elected. Obviously, I did not move there. Did you move there? Let me know in the comments. Did you move away? Did you move away from the US because of whoever became president? Okay, here's another one. I can't wait for Hillary Clinton to be elected president of the United States. I can't wait to implement her designing women pant legs into my wardrobe. That one still holds up. You know, if my mom watched Designing Women and Delta Burke when I was younger, and that, I think that one still holds up. I'm kind of doing it. Look at these pants. Kind of on my way. A little bit. But I think the business woman pant legs are just wider and blue or black. Sometimes red. Sometimes white. Kamala Harris had white ones. So, yeah. So now here's a section called Single. And it says very. And that still holds up true today. I've never been popular with the fellas. I've had to convince at least one or two guys to like me or date me. One of their friends actually helped me. Like my first boyfriend, I would talk to him on Instant Messenger, saw him on MySpace, he liked my photo. Got his AIM, his AOL Instant Messenger, as I said before. And we talked, and he would just never ask me out. He always talk about the girl at work, which should have been a red flag that he liked the girl at work more than he thought I was attractive, even though he liked my photos on MySpace. Turns out with guys, a lot of things mean absolutely nothing. Everything they do means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. But I convinced him to like me, but his friend Justin convinced him to go on a date with me. It's pretty sad. I do regret it all the time. Like, he probably never actually liked me or loved me. I think about that a lot. Anyways, single, very. Okay, I don't have cats. This is a joke, I guess, I wrote in 2017. I don't have cats. Pet deposit be too high. But I do paint pictures of cats and hang them up on all over my walls. I'm a cat lady, a cat picture lady. Termites are even welcome as pets in my apartment or my duplex. I live in a duplex at the time. And then I rewrote it. So I'm trying to follow this. It's like, here's what I read, and then there's like a big line. Okay, I rewrote it, I guess. I don't have pets. Pet deposit be too high. But if a spider or a roach shows up, they are my new pet. No pet deposit needed. Pretty good. I like that. I did, actually, when I first moved into my duplex in Mesa, Arizona, had my own carport. It was like basically half a house. There was no like unit number. It just was 216 South Udall. That was it. There's no like 216 South Udall, you know, unit 5 or nothing like that. It just seemed like its own thing. It's nice. Its own building. I did have like a daddy long legs for a month that I would say hi to, and he would like dance. I'd see him in the bathroom, and I'm like, hey, what's up, Fred? And one time, I swear, I was like sitting in my living room on the ground. I love sitting on the floor to like ground myself. I bought a couch, but I like rarely used it. I was just mostly on the ground. I remember sitting there, I don't know, and I saw this, daddy long legs are so thin. I mean, they could be crushed so easily. That's probably why I like them. I can control them. But he kind of walked over to me, and then I noticed him, and then he like got frightened. I swear he did this with his hands. And then he like crawled away, went on the wall, and then started dancing. I think he was trying to say hi to me, because at that point we had gotten to know each other. We had long conversations. I'd be in the bathroom taking a poop and just be talking to him about guys I had, being alone, no boyfriend. Back when I cared about that stuff. I'm 40 now. I don't care about that stuff. But, you kind of care about being single or not single. You care about your loneliness. For me, I cared about it till about 35. After that, I was just like, this is what it is. I just never thought about it again. Used to be more guy obsessed, but I think it's more like the patriarchy brainwashed me into being that way. It's a farce. It's society brainwashing women to be obsessed with love and guys. It's just not real. Like, it's not natural, it turns out. Okay, anyways, here's something else. Oh, okay, this one has some innuendo. I think I remember this one. I'm just scanning it really quick. I love my Sonicare toothbrush. But living alone in a duplex, as I do, I'm pretty sure my neighbors know I'm single, and they just think I'm using my vibrator in the bathroom to brush my teeth every night. To me, I guess my Sonicare, I had an older one. It was so loud that I'm sure the people on the other side of the duplex wall, which was the bathroom wall, other side, the other duplex, whoever lived there was on the other side. I just wondered, like, if my Sonicare was so loud that they thought I was, like, getting down with myself every night. I lost that vibrator. It got stolen by a guy, one of the guys who fixes stuff in the apartment when I was out of town. I used to keep it in my sock drawer. It wasn't there. When I got back from New Orleans, from doing New Orleans, I got back and it's bedazzled, it's lavender. It just wasn't there in the drawer anymore. And then, a couple of years later I moved. I still couldn't find it. So some guy's got a vibrator that I used like a total of 3 times in my life. I think I got that vibrator in like 2009. Yeah, I think I used it about 3 to 5 times. I mean, I take care of myself, but I think it's just a hassle to use the vibrator. It really is. It's just like, I never even put batteries in it. It was for the girth. Yeah. Okay, here's another one. I might want to start switching to my phone. I only have a few minutes left. Do I read any from my phone? We are running out of time. This podcast is not long enough, and I like it that way, but damn it. Okay. Let's go to at least a few on my phone now, so you can see some progression of what I wrote. This is an old phone. I'm actually not doing the 2-camera thing today because this one, I need this one to look up old jokes. I just don't want to make my podcast too long. I want to make it not an hour, but like kind of an hour, almost an hour. Let's see. Oh, this is another one. There's one do you want to see how many jokes are on this phone? These are all just jokes. Jokes. I could do a comedy special. Put out 3 comedy specials. Yes. What's one of the first ones I put on here as a joke? I do label it joke. I'll put joke and then hyphen and then the title. Some of them need some work, and that's always fun to read, the ones that need work. I have a Don Draper joke. I think I did a comedy show in 2017 where I dressed up as one of the people from Mad Men. Can't remember the name of the person, but I didn't dress up as Don Draper, but one of the other characters, the one who's like younger and like more peppy. So it was called The Bro Show in Mesa, Arizona, and one of the people who invented the show died. Her name was Courtney Wallstrom. So rest in peace. She died on election day, 2020. Yes. So, but great memories. I mean, I had to write, all these jokes were written for this Mad Men character. So here's one. Like, and I, again, dressed up as him, slicked my hair back, had like a tie, had a suit, suspenders on. So I work in advertising. We use typewriters. Well, not me specifically, but my female secretary. Men invented the typewriter. We made it so intuitive, even a woman can use it. Just like sexist jokes like that. My colleague has a new secretary, and I told him I want first crack at her. Word on the sea is she took down more sailors than the USS Arizona. I'm from Arizona, so. Although I don't like the Pearl Harbor death of the thousands of men on that submarine that died in the USS Arizona. But I just like that it's called USS Arizona and that it's sunk in Hawaii. And I just love my state so much. But again, I don't like that so many people died on it, but I just like that. I like when Arizona pops up in places like on TV shows or in the ocean outside of Hawaii, the Hawaiian Islands. Yeah. I'm a newly married man. I went to return a chip and dip at Macy's. It was a wedding gift. Chip and dip. I don't know if that's from the 60s. I guess it is. I didn't have a receipt, but because it was a gift. The worker gal told me she could give me store credit. I said, if she can give me cash, I'll buy her a drink. She said no. But she would have said yes if it was 1 decade earlier. These women are getting too smart for their own good. What will they want next? Equal pay? Again, I'm just reading random jokes. I don't even know if they're good. I offered to give her lipstick copywriting. I offered to give one of our female advertising people. Sorry, they don't think they're people. One of our female advertising writers. Her lipstick copywriting the once-over, to check for grammar, spelling errors, any sign of legible words at all. But hot dog, if it's a winner, let's just be honest here. I'm going to outright steal it from her and take complete credit for it. I am a man. So good. So good. I don't know what this means, but I just know I need to do it. Yes. I'm a millennial. The millennials do this too. I don't know. I feel like I'm just trying to use, I'm asking for chopsticks. I'm like, you got any? Yeah, okay, so is there anything else I want to read that would be, again, random? I could just do this, randomly select one. And then we'll go over a question from a viewer, and then we'll go over comedy shows coming up. Don't worry. This podcast has an outline, if you can believe it. Joke. First thing that I put as joke hyphen blah blah blah. What's one of the first ones that I did? Oh, Christmas gift from my parents. Oh, here's one. Joke. Drinking, Facebook. Social media makes people abusive and belligerent. Social media is basically alcohol. People also shouldn't social media and drive. And if you're on social media long enough while in bed, you will pass out. When Facebook bans you, that's the equivalent of a designated driver taking you home to sleep it off for a couple days. Decent. This was 2021. Here's one from 2018. Wait, yeah, 2018. I went to my optometrist, and hold on, I just have a note on what it's about. Let me see if I remember the joke. I went to my optometrist, and instead of checking my eyes, he checked my moral perception. And I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty fair. I don't know. I don't remember. It was just like a little note about the joke, but not the joke itself. So I'm just. Okay, here's one from 2018 as well. President Roosevelt married his third or fifth cousin. What was that marriage like? One of the best, most progressive presidents in our country's streets was a redneck in the sheets. Ah, I like that. What did his wedding invitation say? It just said, Roosevelt and Roosevelt, like some sort of incestuous law firm. They specialize in same family divorces. I like how I'm reading every joke like a newsie, just so you know I'm reading a joke. This was all about Roosevelt. This is all just different what was this for? Like a president? I don't remember doing a president comedy show, but here we go. That's probably what it was. Oh, what would President Lincoln give his wife on Valentine's Day? A Depancipation Proclamation. Or Impancipation Proclamation. Ah, I'm editing as I go here. Oh wow, that one's pretty dark. I'm not gonna read that. Okay, President Washington, what would he do on Valentine's Day, I assume? I didn't write anything here, but pop his wife's cherry tree. Okay. What would President Kennedy... No, I'm not going to read that one. Whenever I see V-Day, I always think it stands for VD Day, like those New York City subway ads that Joey from Friends' face was plastered all over on the TV show Friends. Okay. So many jokes, guys. Let's go to one that's more modern. That was like 2018. We're going to just go through a timeline here of maybe one that's better. One in the 2020s. Okay. This will probably be part of this is not the main part of my comedy special about the murderers I know and other jokes I've been working on for years that I'm not going to say on this podcast, but this is one I might put in there. It's girlfriend. It says joke hyphen girlfriend watches murder docs. One of my comedian friends thought his girlfriend was watching murder docs to plan his death. And I said, she is not watching them to kill you. Wait, hold on. I had an update to this one. Wait, back up. I sent that joke to a friend. He punched it up for me. So I give credit to Wolf Brown for that. My friend Wolf Brown. Ooh. I don't know if it's on here. So, shoot. Can I get to it? Sorry, guys. Let me find it. Or just skip it. Well, since it might be my special, let's just skip it. There's an update to that. Like, basically, it's going to get stupid now that I'm trying to explain it, but she's not watching murder docs to kill you. She's watching murder docs to protect herself from you. But that's not even it. There's like something about that's how you know it's a good relationship. Anyways, forget it. Just forget it. Here's one that I never really say. No, there's so many, guys. But now I'm sure you want me to find it, so it's on my phone, unfortunately. I think he sent it to me, though. I'll find it, guys. I don't want you to feel like, oh, what was it? Quit logging me out, Facebook Messenger. Quit logging me out. Okay, yeah, that's me. No, stop. It's trying to get me to add everyone on my phone. Just taking up time. I gotta make it. What? Great. Okay. Wolf. Let's see what he sent that one time. We got the sirens. Yeah, this is an emergency. I think it's on my phone, guys. I'm sorry. I had been saying it about, oh, maybe it's coming up. No. Oh no, here it is. Okay. All right. My friend thought his girlfriend was watching Murder Docs to Plan a Set. She's not watching them to kill you. She's watching them because you're boring. If you're in a relationship and you're both worried about the other person murdering you, that's a healthy relationship. Am I right, ladies? That's what he added, which is totally stupid. I would never say that. Okay, well, that was fun. So many jokes. I don't have time to go over all of them. Maybe I could do another episode continuing that. If you like this, going over old jokes, let me know in the comments. If you want me to do another round of these in another episode. Well, let's answer a viewer question. I got a question from Christian Killebrew on YouTube. I'm getting a notification off my phone. He asked me my favorite 80s song, and hold on, it came on my way to the chiropractor today. It came up on the radio because I think it's called This Much Is True. I have so many favorite 80s songs that it pains me to even pick a favorite. Like I watched Donnie Darko, all the 80s songs on Donnie Darko. The director's cut is In Excess. The non-director's cut is Echo and the Bunnymen for like the first scene. Love both of those, but I love In Excess a little bit more. But This Much Is True. So I love 16 Candles, and anytime, the guy from 16 Candles, so ideal. He's an ideal man. Everyone probably thinks that ever since that movie came out. I'm on that train as well. What is that song called? This Much Is True is also a movie. Well, that's nice. Thanks, Google. I meant to look this up before the podcast. It's called True. Okay. I like True from Spandau Ballet. Spandau Ballet. I love the ballet as well. But yeah, whenever I hear this song, I think of that movie. And it's really only I found out it's only in the movie. I rewatched it. It's only in the movie for like 2 seconds during like the prom scene. So, but that ha 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 ha. It just reminds me of them sitting over her cake and like about to kiss. And that movie, I think because I just grew up thinking I was ugly, like Molly Ringwald did, and just awkward, and like how could any guy like me? Even today, I'm like, no guy would like me. No, like, look at me. Like, it's impossible. I'm so, like, dorky and nerdy and stuff. Okay. And then the other song I got a name too. I like Head Over Heels and by In Excess. I'm just kidding. Head Over Heels. Basically anything in Donnie Darko. What's the other one I like? It's every time I type in a song, it's a freaking show. This is a Korean drama. Head Over Heels. I'm looking for the song. Tears for Fears. I knew that. I'm just like spacing out since there's a camera on me. What's the other song by Tears for Fears? I do like Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I like Killer Queen by Queen. Radio Gaga. When did that song Da 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 come out? Was that the 90s or the 80s? Song. Da 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 song. 81 by Trio. I like that song. Da Da Da. The Volkswagen Bug commercial in the 90s, but it came out in the 80s, I guess, the song. Yeah. So I have, by the way, I have 2 comedy shows coming up. I looked them up before the podcast. I have one tomorrow night. I'm filming on a Thursday. I have one tomorrow night at the Comedy Chateau, but I'm going to post this on Sunday. You're not going to know about that one, so forget it. Just forget that one. I sent an email out to my subscribers or to people on my email list. If you want to be on my email list, it's aprilwalterscheid.com. Sign up for my email list so you can know about shows that I don't even have time to mention on here, because by the time this podcast episode is out, that show is already done. So if you want to know about the shows that come out between when I film the podcast and post it on Sunday, sign up. Okay, so as far as shows coming up when this podcast is posted, I have one September 6th at the Hollywood Comedy at 8:30. Tickets are on thehollywoodcomedy.com or aprilwalterscheid.com. My manager did post it. I have a comedy show on September 13th at a really weird time. It's called Laugh Bombs, and it's at 4 p.m. So you can go to that one. That one I have to bring 3 to 5 people, so I would love if you went to that one. I'll sign up for my email list and you'll get a link. Or follow me on Instagram and you'll see where to get tickets. I think that's it. This podcast has gone way too long. I always think I'm not gonna have enough to talk about, but then like I have way too much to talk about on the subject I pick for the episode. Subscribe to my YouTube. Subscribe right now. Click on it. I'm watching you. Hi. Click subscribe right now. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Well, I hope you have a great week. And I really appreciate you watching this. I hope you enjoyed your boba tea. I maybe forgot to tell you to get one at the beginning, but always get a boba tea or a matcha or your favorite drink when you watch this episode. When you watch any podcast episode that I post. If you're watching old episodes, grab a boba tea. That's the thing that I do. I mean, I didn't have one for this episode. I did have one today, though, earlier. And I am hyped from it. It was coffee. Take care. Be safe. Bye.